Gacha games just want one thing from you, and it's disgusting. Kidding. Not really. To want, to pull, to chase a character until the banner disappears and your wallet goes with it. Where am I going with this? Nowhere. But Kuro certainly knows where they're going, because Wuthering Waves 3.1 dropped an emotional nuclear bomb I genuinely did not expect.
Whoopsies!
It turned a featured character into a daughter for our main protagonist, Rover, adding a sense of responsibility for the player in a masterclass way of writing that hits its marks with unexpected emotional impact, with its camera angles that make it look personal, music that makes it feel like it was made for the scene, and a narrative that for the first time in any gacha game I've ever played gives life to the MC in a way that makes his quest feel like it was as much about them as it was about her. And that shift is what makes Aemeath a turning point for gacha storytelling.
Let's go save the world!
Now, let's be honest about how most gacha stories work. They don't, because they're mid and don't stick, and now I'm just farming mats. Characters are designed as rewards or trophies. They're aspirational, powerful, beautiful, sometimes tragic, but always at a distance. Even when they suffer, that suffering exists to make you want them more. This is a loop. You attain the character.
Here it comes.
They pop up on Pridewin in Tier 0. They flirt just enough to make you pull for their weapon, and then you convince yourself you can fix her by getting her S1 on the next paycheck. But rarely, and I mean rarely, if at all, does a company take a risk to make you feel for a character as a parental figure, which wouldn't work if the story wasn't well written, by the way, because then it would just be weird as hell. But this is where Aemeath breaks the formula.
Back to formula.
Aemeath is introduced as a powerful character with intrigue, mystery, and emotional weight. She smiles, but her eyes don't agree. She exists, but only you can see her. Her physical body is gone, leaving behind a digital ghost. That in itself is already interesting, and the game does not rush to explain that right away. We progress through the story with her as we learn about her past as much as we learn about ours. By the way, every song played throughout this quest feels thoughtful and intentional, and for me, none of them miss. My favorite one is this one. It's like I'm playing a movie. The MC's connection to her eventually reveals that Aemeath is their adopted daughter. She lost her parents to a void storm as a child, and Rover was there to raise her. We end up visiting their old house, and we get flashbacks of young Aemeath playing video games. You're not saving the world in those moments. You're walking in a house that no longer feels lived in, looking at drawings on a table that haven't been touched in years, and reliving the bond that they developed together. It pivots the player to want to feel responsible for her. This is then later followed by insane plot twists that literally leave you jaw-dropped.
What?
Walk faster, Rover! But shake that ass.
Oh, and that boss fight? I had chills.
What exactly are you hiding from me?
You don't need to know.
This is on top of unexpected levels of depth and voice acting to Rover's character that we've never seen before, which is great, by the way. Rover actually feels human. More of this, please.
But don't worry. The journey I've had since losing my memories, the hope I found, that's mine to keep. No one can take that.
But also placing Aemeath as someone who has already endured and already sacrificed, herself included, long before Rover showed up again, and still shows you that you're someone she trusts. That creates a completely different emotional contract between player and character, and it's impactful because she makes decisions that feel heavy. She carries consequences that don't vanquish after a cutscene, and most importantly, she exists beyond the player's gaze. Her story doesn't pause when you leave, but what impressed me was that there are pauses. There are quiet shots that rely on expression, and in a genre that survives off spectacle, it's nice that the game trusts you to sit in those spaces. That alone puts this writing levels ahead of what most gacha narratives attempt. By the end, it left me with that feeling of anxiety good stories usually leave me with. But this isn't just about one character, it's about what this signals. Wuthering Waves is showing that gacha storytelling doesn't have to rely on emotional manipulation, artificial attachment, or character as product design. We already have parasocial relationships with them anyways. Instead, it can build relational storytelling. I saw people in playthrough reactions get quiet, of the reflective kind. People talking about their own parents, about loss.
I fucking adore my parents, man. My mom and my dad are like my fucking heroes. That was really fucking well done, man. They did a great job.
I'm ending the video here. I am miserable. I am miserable.
Don't be sad.
I felt the same. In fact, not gonna lie, there were parts where I choked up when editing this video. That's how much it impacted me. When was the last time a banner update did anything like that? When a gacha game makes players reflect on their real lives instead of their pity count, something different is happening. Imagine that, a game where characters exist not just to collect, but to matter. Once you introduce that into a system built on consumption, you change the way players engage entirely. And I think we all know what that means for themselves. It's a win-win for everybody. It just requires a little more narrative effort and less playing it safe. Though I will admit, we are starting to see different approaches to these games. Look at Arknight's Enfield with its factory building system and yielding wild success, or NTE, Neverness to Everness, in an urban setting where you can buy clothes in shops and drive cars in the city. Wuwa dared to try something new, and did it work? Well, I'm still emotionally damaged, so I'd say yeah. Good stories deserve to be told. I didn't walk away from this one and say, oh alright, like I would other patches. I walked away thinking about a character and what she represents. I walked away feeling unresolved and that I need to take action. And that's something I can't remember the last gacha game even remotely making me feel. I mean, I'll give credit where it's due. Honkai Star Rail 3.8 story was great. That one's a tearjerker for sure, but this one just hits different.
Aemeath, synchronist of the Exostrider from Rebel College. That was me back when I was alive. Now, I'm a digital ghost. Objective logged. Just like you once protected me. It's my turn to protect you.
This can't be the only way.
It is. The only thing I still worry about is you. I don't regret a thing. Go home.
If this is the direction future updates take, Wuthering Waves would be setting a new standard for storytelling that would absolutely be a wake-up call for other massive games in the space to do the same, and hopefully inspire innovation that can both respect the player's time and maybe somewhat add just a semblance of justification to their egregious gacha mechanics. Who am I kidding? We all know gacha gamble is garbage, but you know what I mean. Anyway, Kuro now owns my bank account, so if you could help me out by liking this video, commenting, and subscribing, that would be very helpful. Thanks.